Hey there, what is up, plant community? So, I know last video I said I was going to do a specific video, and that was going to be on the cast iron plant. Well, I'm not able to do that video today, so, and there's a couple reasons behind it. One reason is because maintenance is here, so I'm going to do a quick care video. Of course, leave a comment if you have any questions, and like, share, and subscribe. It helps me out, helps me get out there. And I wish to keep doing this. I wish to keep doing this as to teach people more about beautiful plants. Anyways, so get that mess right there. You can tell right away. So the poinsettia. So here we have a few dropped leaves now. The poinsettia is usually an easy to care for plant. They like to be by a window, but not if it has a cold draft. The cold draft can kind of hurt them a bit, especially on the root system if your pot is exposed like mine. And if you have a little cover for it, like a little sheet that they usually give on it, whatever you call those, little cover. I call them little jackets for plants. But anyways, you usually want to poke holes in those, or you usually want to take them away, the foil wrapping that comes around the poinsettia. Because if not, what will happen is it will hold on to water, and that root ball isn't going to like that. It's going to, well, drop its leaves like this and look pretty bad. You'll start to see a lot of leaf droplet, and that could also be due to cold. Another thing is too is they do like a bit of humidity. Um, Usually humidity around 60 to 70% is good enough for them. So that's one thing to take into consideration is the humidity. Of course, if you don't have very many plants and you're just looking to get a poinsettia just to have a poinsettia, you can just mist it and actually just get through and toss it or whatever you want to do. But the cool thing is you don't have to toss these plants. So, fun fact, everybody likes to toss these away because they lose all their leaves, but that's perfectly normal for these poinsettias. The way you can start getting these little dormant nodes, which would be in between the leaf bases, is you can add a bit of fertilizer. I'm not sure if you can see it very well, but I added a bit of a slow release. Not very much because they're not really growing at this time and in this phase. They're kind of more in a dormancy. Now, these leaves, these red leaves, are not flowers. They are called bracts. The flowers actually form inside of here. These are the flowers. And the flowers will start to form new bracts, which would be red leaves. So just keep that in mind. Now, the way you can get the bracts back is you gotta put them in absolute darkness for about 10 days or so. Keep them there, make sure there's no light, because any bit of light will actually delay the coloring of the bracts. Now, what you'll start to see here is when they do start to color up, as you'll notice, you'll get the red stems. You'll start to get these very, very red stems, and then the leaves will start to color up there. Not sure if you can really see that, but to the naked eye, you can see the little vein right there that's getting nice and red. And then before you know it, your leaves will start to turn more and more red, and then you'll get the fully red bracts. Now, there are different forms of poinsettias, even yellow ones. There's all different types of colors. Just watch out for the ones that are spray painted. Those aren't going to give you the proper bracts that you want. You might wind up with a white poinsettia instead. Now, this is more of the traditional poinsettia, more of the wild one. This is more of the one that I wanted. I wanted more of the wild looking poinsettias, not the cultivated ones, but they're all cultivated. Anyways, so you can start these from cuttings, What I usually do is when I start a poinsettia from cutting is I'll say if I don't want this long branch here, I'll cut it from the bottom, cut it flush right there, and I will stick it in water and I will keep the water in there, wait for roots, stick it in soil, and then moisten it. Now, they can take bright light. They can even take direct sun because where they grow naturally, they grow as trees. Not very big trees, but they grow as trees. And usually in areas that they grow in, they usually. Oh no. Well, that leads to my other thing I'll need to do then, which would be. Or is that just sap? Huh. Oh no, I'm gonna spray it to make sure though. Anywho, probably why I'm losing so many leaves. Um, where was I? Oh, it could take direct sun. Just know that you're gonna be watering it a bit more about every day, like a banana tree, if you have it in direct sun. Because where they naturally grow, anyways, they grow by lakes, rivers, ponds, creeks in Mexico and in tropical regions of Mexico. So they like their soil to stay moist, but not damp and not watered down all the time. That too can also cause dropping of leaves. So be wary of that. They do like to be by a bright window. Even a window receiving direct sun like this would be adequate enough for them. Or you could put them in a little area like I have, which is my room, which is a little bit darker. They'll adapt, they'll do just fine. But just take note, you might have to supplement that with a grow light. So keep that in mind, or you can just kind of keep them, put them somewhere for Christmas for a little bit, and then they'll go on and drop their leaves. But you can, after the Christmas months, you could take them, put them back in a bright lit area. But yeah, other than that, poinsettia's easy to care for. Pests, um, spider mites are a bit troublesome for these guys. Scale, mealybugs, which I think I got a little pest right here. So when you get a pest on your poinsettia that I did not know I had, you'll notice that, I guess, leaves will start to drop and curl up like this. So I'm going to show you how to take care of your pests. I'll be right back. So what I use when it comes down to pests is there are two different things you can use. Is you can use more of an organic pesticide like neem oil and soap. But in this case, I'm going to use this stuff. This is a pretty good stuff, 3-in-1 garden spray. It handles a lot of your pest issues. Get this from Northern Tropics, so if you're in the Muncie, Indiana area, check them out. They got some good plants and they got some good pesticides. So what I'll do is whenever I notice that there is a pest, which is why it's important to inspect all your plants, so I'll take it, I'll spray this underneath the leaves, and then I'll spray down the leaves. And this is just to guarantee that I am getting every pest. Now, this chemical will not harm your plant, but I will try to stay away from pesticides that could potentially be more damaging than good, and be wary about what pesticides you use on your plants, as it could harm them more than it could actually help them. In this case, this chemical that I've been using, I've sprayed it on my ferns accidentally and it has not harmed them, and that's saying something, because usually I can't even spray neem oil on my ferns. So considering that this chemical has not even harmed my plants but directly targets the insects, is perfect. Anyways, so it smells good too. But this is mainly the care of the poinsettia. Of course, during the winter months, they will be growing a lot slower. So like I said, don't add much fertilizer. And when it's the end of December, you can feel free to cut these bracts off. All that will do is encourage more growth from the lower nodes. You don't have to cut them off completely if you don't want to. You can maybe cut, like, say if I wanted to cut right there and maybe leave a bract. But Yeah, other than that, the poinsettia is quite easy to care for, and don't throw them out during the winter time. They can make an excellent bonsai or an excellent house plant. Their leaves will get much more bigger, and they're beautiful when they're much bigger, and they got these big old red leaves instead of the little leaves like we usually do. But that's really about it on the care of the poinsettia. Again, when you water them, just make sure you don't keep them in the foil. Or if you do, poke holes in it or just take it completely off. Even maybe do a little bit of cute decorating yourself. Maybe you can get a pot like this and maybe add some glue, some little Christmas things on there like snowmen, little Christmas balls, whatever you want to do. But other than that, that's really about it. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Any questions, anything like that, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will be happy to answer them when I can get around to them, though, because I'm usually busy. So, have a good rest of the day, guys.